Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays69. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to have a look at the TVP T5051 and how this tank is actually a very, very difficult tank to play. Very difficult. In fact, I do think it's probably one of the hardest medium tanks to play in tier 10. In the next few days, I will be doing a top 5 toughest tanks to play or hardest tanks to play in tier 10. And spoiler alert, this is in that top 5. So it's got good stats. I mean, 2,728 DPM, by far nowhere near the DPMs of the Russians and the Leopards and the E50s and except any medium tank, to be honest. But that's because it is an auto loader. The reload is almost 22 seconds on your reload. It does have a 2-second intro clip with 4 shells, which isn't too bad. Now the penetration isn't bad at 254, and the heat is pretty good at 319, and your HE at 55. So nothing really wrong with the penetration, nothing wrong with the burst that it does, the damage that it does, the average damage it does at 310, 260 on your heat, and 420 on your HE. Aim time pretty good at 2.6, and of course the gun dispersion at 0.308, and it does have 8 degrees of gun depression, and it is a very quick tank. It's a really nice tank. Now I always run it with the refined gun just to make the aim time even the dispersion, because the aim time's already good. 2.8 is the aim time without the other thing that we use. So yeah, refined gun I always use to because that brings the dispersion down to 0.277. So I definitely recommend using the refined gun. But other than that, it is a very difficult tank to play. Now I'm not great at driving this tank, and I'll be the first to admit it. And the V-stabs, that's what I mean. So yeah, I'm not the greatest at this tank. It doesn't mean, I've always said, like, I'm not good in this tank, but that doesn't mean it's not a good tank. I know it's a good tank. It's a fun tank to play, and I'm just not good at it. But I'm trying to get better. I am playing it a lot more just to try to play better. And the reason I'm not good at it is basically just because of my playstyle. My playstyle really doesn't suit this kind of auto loader with the long reload, because I'm a very aggressive player. So I kind of get wrecked so all the time. I mean, here we do get lucky because we do have our team behind, and this tank is pretty much all about just fire your gun, run away to a different location, and while you're on a reload, because otherwise for me it gets boring. When you're in a certain position like this, for instance, it gets boring because I can't do anything for 22 seconds, which is crazy. And when I'm driving a medium tank in tier 10, most of them are all about DPM. So you're constantly firing your gun. This is the opposite to that. It's not about DPM. It is all about the clip and just bullying the tanks. I mean, you can really bully tanks. We've had 2 clips and we've still done 2,100 damage with both clips, which is still pretty good. So yeah, it is a difficult tank to play. Some people play it really, really well. I'm just not one of those. I don't play it too well. But you can still pump up your damage pretty quickly. I mean, like I said, we've had 2 clips so far, and we're going to still get a little bit more. Now we have the STB in front of us. We're going to get 1 shot. Yes, we're going to get shot, but when it's a 7 versus 3, I don't mind taking a shot if I can get all 4 shots into this guy. And we do get the ram, and now he's only on 27 hit points, so we're just going to try and go in for a bit more ram damage, and then our AMX-50B does come to help us anyway. So there's just 2 tanks left alive, the IS-7, the grill there, and now this IS-7. So we've still now done 3.6k damage, and that was easy. We're going to get 1 more shot into this guy before he gets taken out by the Death Star, so not too bad at all. So we're going to move on to the next game. Now, this game here on Falls Creek, I didn't want to go to the left side because they got 2 light tanks and a medium tank. Unless you've got support, I mean, I know I have one other light tank for support, but this tank really is a supporting tank. It's not a tank that you can just rush in YOLO, because you will get wrecked. Yes, you've got that burst damage, you've got the clip damage that you can do, sort of 1,200, 1,300 per magazine, but then you're on a 22-second reload. So if you're going to get rushed, rushed by something like a T62, a Leopard, you're gonna soon know about it, because they have 3,500 DPM or 3,600 DPM, and while you're on that 22 second reload, you're gonna get ripped apart. So always, it's a support tank. Support your mediums. Don't be frontline with your mediums, or be in front of your mediums. Sort of support them behind. Where this game, I didn't really want to go to the left side because I know I would get wrecked. So I just rushed with the heavies. I rushed with the heavies, supporting the heavies, and now we absolutely obliterated these two guys. Yeah, I get the bounce there, but the 50 TP does take him out, and it is now a 5 versus 5. And I'm just looking around. I know that there is the Yo to the right there, and as you can see, I was about to go round, but then I spot the grill. So I'm thinking, okay, everyone else is to the left, so I'm going to go around the long way. There's no point me going through the middle here. I'm on a reload. Might as well spend a bit of time getting around the map whilst I'm on that reload. And as soon as I've reloaded, I've managed to get around, and we can just farm this guy. He's almost on 1,300 hit points, but of course, nice HE with him not running the spool liner. We have managed to just clear him, even with one shell remaining. So we've still pumped up our damage very, very quickly, 3.3k damage, which is still good. But does any of you guys struggle with the TVP? It's like I said, it does kind of play like a Leopard. It's got that feel about it, but it's an auto loader. It's got the 4 shells, and I still think that's really, really nice, and you can still do damage. Definitely go for the tanks with lower hit points, sort of anything sort of around the 1,000 hit point mark. Of course, go for that tank, because you will be able to clear them in around 6 seconds if you're shooting all 4 of your shells. So yeah, nice and easy. Again, another nice and easy game, 4 against 1. We're just going to go for the ram damage. I didn't think we're going to get any more damage done to this guy, but we do manage to reload and again take him out. And again, that game, 4.6k damage, and it seemed easy. It seemed so easy to get that damage. And when you're not getting focused, it is easy to get that damage. Even though you've got the long reload, 22 seconds, it's still a long time for a medium tank. As I said, it doesn't quite have the DPM that the other medium tanks have got in tier 10, so you can struggle. And of course, if you are playing front line, you really will struggle if they are trying to shoot you, because you haven't really got that armor profile. As I said, you can bounce on the turret, but you can't rely on that. You can't rely on that. So we're going to watch a decent game here. It is an unfortunate game at the end, and this is the kind of thing that the TVP can do. I've seen a lot of high damage games, and unfortunately, because of that armor profile, because of that reload, sometimes you just can't carry, you just can't get over the finishing line like you would be able to do with something like a T62 or a Leopard or an object or anything with high DPM. So we're going to watch this guy here. Not quite sure of the name yet, but I'm sure we will see the name very, very soon. So he's going for the hold down position. He's going to try and get all 4 shells in. Unfortunately, doesn't quite manage to do that. I thought he should go for the reload. He has gone for the reload, and now he's just looking around the map, looking around where the enemies are, and looking where his team is, and just looking at where is the best place to go. And you can see he's constantly looking around, and because he's reloaded, he didn't really have to make that decision yet. He's got time. He's got over 20 seconds to make that decision where he needs to go. And as soon as he's reloaded, he's realized, okay, this is the best position to be in. He needs to clear these TDs. He's going to get the Death Star there. Nice. That was a nice track into that Death Star, and that could have just changed the outcome of that game. That one shot, that one track could have just changed the outcome of the game. And now, because of the Death Star has gone, going probably to the right side is definitely the best option. But he doesn't do that. He does get shot from the right side. It was only sort of 300, but he's now going to chase these medium tanks. Now, I don't know if this was the right choice or not, but I like the fact that he's ignoring the Centurion and he's going for the T62, because he knows with 4 shells he can clear that T62. And again, he's on the reload, so he's just going to run away and he's going to just hide while he's on the reload. But when you're getting chased by a Centurion, yeah, it's this guy can just HE you to death, and he's got good DPM. It's now got good speed as well, but it hasn't got the speed that the TVP has got. And again, he's now reloaded. He's he's got himself some time. He's just going to go for that little ram there, which he probably didn't need to do, but he does clear him again with 1 shell left. Now he is going to try and get the shot on the E100. It's a 2 versus 3 at the moment. He's a potential 1 shot to most of the tanks that are out there at the moment. But the VK, he's just going to hide. Again, I like what he's doing. He's on a reload. He's not wasting any, he's not being risky or anything like that. He's on a reload. There's no point in him poking out until he's almost reloaded. And now the VK is going to face hug the E100. He's now going to get behind the E100 and try to take him out. But of course, the E100 at that time clears the enemy. He's on the E100, and now that has just made it a lot more difficult, because he would have been able to clear this E100 if he's the VK72 would have just stayed alive a little bit longer. So now he is on his own against here the E100 and the Waffle. Of course, you need to try and focus the E100 at this point, but he's just going to wait. He's still on a reload, and just before he reloads, the Waffle does come up, gets a nice HE there. Again, another nice shot. Yeah, bad mistake there from the Waffle shooting HE. He didn't need to shoot HE, and our guy does manage to take him out, but he's got 1 shell left. He doesn't want to go for the reload because he knows that the E100 is a 1 shot, and this is where it gets very, very unfortunate. Now, if he was in something like a T62 that has a strong turret, a good armor profile, or something maybe like the Patton E50M, then he could have probably got away with this. But you can see he's trying to get the E100 through under the gun of the VK. He's trying to wait, and he gets shot. So very, very unfortunate. But it's the TVP. The TVP is a fantastic tank, but it is a difficult tank to play. Let me know in the comments if you struggle with the TVP. I'd like to know if it's not just me, if it's just me or not. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.